Welcome, Golden Wolves, to the Alvernia Campus Show, your go-to source for everything happening right here at Alvernia University. Whether you're a student, faculty member, or staff, we're here to keep you informed, engaged, and connected. I'm Kyle Rudart, and joining me today is my co-host, Trevor Spolin.
And we're excited to bring you the latest from campus life. From events and sports segments to exclusive interviews and important university updates, we've got it all covered. And now, let's jump right into the latest headlines. On this week's plane incident, passengers aboard a Southwest Airlines flight got an unexpected adrenaline rush Monday when their plane had a close call with another aircraft that mistakenly entered the runway at Chicago Midway International Airport. Fortunately, thanks to the quick thinking of air traffic controllers and the pilot's steady hands, the plane landed safely without so much as a spilled soda. But unlike last week's incident in Toronto, these passengers won't be collecting a check.
An unusual crime unfolded at Colorado Pet Store when a group of thieves pulled off a bizarre distraction before making off with a pricey pup. Surveillance footage shows the suspects entering the store, browsing for a few minutes, and then suddenly one collapses to the floor and starts to have a seizure, what appears to be a seizure. Concerned employees rushed to assist, calling 911, but as soon as their attention shifted, the so-called victim sprang to his feet while the other two thieves grabbed a French bulldog puppy and bolted out the door. Authorities say the dog, valued at around $5,000, is still missing, and police are now trying to find the suspects, who were last seen escaping into a gold Cadillac Escalade with tinted windows and no license plate. Faking a seizure to steal a dog, it's like a rough way to go about things.
Humanoid robots are slowly entering the workforce and taking over everyday jobs, from McDonald's employees to factory workers. This is a small change for McDonald's, as their current staff is already robotic. There is currently an estimate of one robot for every 1,000 human workers. These robots have a 99% accuracy rate, making them far more desirable than human workers. That being said, tune in next week for our brand new Alvernia Campus Show host, model ZY800. A Michigan judge is making headlines for a unique approach to justice, sentencing Walmart shoplifters to wash cars in the store's parking lot. Judge Jeffrey Clother has sparked debate after ordering Walmart shoplifters to spend the day scrubbing cars instead of serving jail time or paying fines. Some residents praise the move as a creative deterrent, while others question whether public punishment is the right approach. Legal experts say the practice walks a fine line between rehabilitation and public shaming. So far, Walmart has not objected, and some drivers even tip the shoplifters for their work. Whether this form of justice will stick around or not, one thing's for sure. Crime doesn't pay, but in Michigan, it just might clean your car.
18 carats of pure porcelain gold was stolen in 2019. Now the culprits have to flush their dignity and face the consequences of their actions. That's right, a solid gold toilet was stolen from Buckingham Palace a few years back. The thieves were quick, and the damage caused was immense due to broken plumbing from the crude dismantling job. It seems it was clear that these men weren't intending to install it into their house. Sounds like a missed opportunity to me personally. According to NBC, this was a group conspiracy between multiple people, and the two men who stole the toilet had been charged with one count of conspiracy to transfer criminal property as of this past Monday. At least the world won't have to see another crapper caper for the foreseeable future. At least until someone steals a display toilet from a Home Depot again.
Okay, now for sports.
Hi, I'm Ian Dumas, and welcome to our second segment of the Golden Wolf Rundown. So let's get started off here. Last day of February the 28th, men's wrestling is going to have their regionals. Good luck to you guys there. Men's track and field also has their MAC championships. That's going to start at 1 p.m. Women's track and field, same thing, 1 p.m. start. So good luck to you guys as well. We're going to shift into 3-1, and there's a lot of important events going on that day. Men's wrestling is going to continue their regionals that day, as well as men's and women's track and field. Men's lacrosse will play a game at Randolph, all fun stuff. And then men's basketball at York College. Good luck to you guys in your playoffs, and congratulations, Bobby Mullen, 1,000 career points. My God, what's an amazing thing. Women's lacrosse will start at Swarthmore. Good luck to you guys. It's a 3 p.m. start if you guys want to catch that. And then women's ice hockey going to Wilkes. Good luck to you guys in your playoffs. That'll be a 3:30 start. And then baseball has a game against Wilkes. That'll officially start their spring break. Safe travels to Florida, boys. Lastly, men's ice hockey will see Wilkes after the women for a 7 p.m. MAC championship face-off. Should be really fun. We move on to 3-2. Women's equestrian going on to a regional. Good luck to you guys. And spring break will continue with baseball and softball both having 2 games that day. On to 3-3. Softball plays 2 games and baseball has a single one against Susquehanna. 3-4, much of the same. And then we end off with 3-5 with baseball playing Capital. And then men's lacrosse will go to Rosemont. And that's all we have for the Golden Wolf Rundown. Now, join me from off the bench. I got Matt and Tony.
Off the bench.
Only Matt Marquez.
Get in there.
Welcome, guys, back to Off the Bench for segment 2. Matt and Tony, so wonderful to have you guys back here again.
Well, Ian, I want to thank you a lot for having me and Tony out here again today. And you know, starting today, the NFL Draft Combine is starting, and potential #1 overall pick, Abdul Carter, got injured. He's sitting out of the Combine, and we see more players sitting out of the Combine. So, Tony, why do you think players are sitting out of the Combine?
Well, I mean, I think certain players, it's mostly the top prospects, you know. A lot of the lower prospects in the lower first round, second round are the guys that are going to the Combine. But the top prospects, I just don't think they see the need. I think they let their film do the talking, and the pro days, usually they have better numbers at the pro days than at the Combine, so why risk it?
You know, I think what we're finding now more is that with advanced technology and all the scouting that's done, you can rely more on that knowledge rather than the Combine, which was originally invented for the purpose of watching players for 3 days because you couldn't watch them all season.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. I think more and more we see these players, you know, they can pick their own drills at the pro day instead of the Combine. So being able to do that, you know, they can boost their numbers up a little, and they just kind of use the Combine for, you know, interviews with teams and seeing where they can go. So, Tony, again, I'm going to come with you here first. The NHL trade deadline is in 7 days. Which player do you see as the big trade target and where you think he's going?
Yeah, so I think it's almost a lock now. The one that I picked, Seth Jones. I mean, we saw it this week on Tuesday after the loss, talking about his team. They haven't changed since the beginning of the season. I mean, calling teammates out and stuff. You don't like to see that. I mean, he has a no trade clause. He's a solid defenseman that a playoff team could definitely use. But I think that he'll definitely get dealt for sure. So.
Mm-hmm. And Ian, how about you?
So, I got Ethan Bear, right? And I know he's sitting in the AHL right now, but he's got a lot of good stuff to trade upon. And, I mean, he was an AHL All-Star. He's an NHL defenseman in his previous years, right? And he could get some good trade value. And there's rumors that the Capitals are in talks with other teams to try to get him out for some capital or a prospect potentially.
So let me just get this straight. Your big trade deadline acquisition is an AHL player who will be a certified bum in the NHL, a 7th defenseman with no plus.
Absolutely.
You know, that just really makes no sense to me, and honestly, I want to puke in my mouth. Tony, how do you feel about that?
Yeah, I mean, that's diabolical. I
Can't disrespect the value that you can get.
That is truly diabolical. My big trade deadline acquisition is Brock Nelson from the Islanders. You know, teams are going to overpay for somebody like that. They need a scorer, something he can do. And the Islanders, the oldest team in the NHL, going to probably look to try and get a little younger.
What do they sit at? They're the only team that has like an average age in the 30s, which is crazy. I know Pittsburgh falls at like 29.2.
Yeah, never a good look when your team's all aging like that.
Nope,
So.
You want to be younger. So that's going to do it for Off the Bench today. We thank you guys for tuning in. Have a well one. And once again, don't listen to Ian.
Thanks, folks, for joining me for the sports segment. And now I move on to A Moment With.
Hi, my name is Elena Palm, and today I'll be having a moment with Grace Warner. She is a double major in political science and communications, and this is her second semester being the head editor of the Alvernian, which is a school-wide newspaper that covers everything campus news.
How I became the head editor was kind of by accident. Dr. Lang just asked me if I wanted to do it, and I said yes, and it was the best, thing that's happened to me so far in my college career. It definitely gives me a greater appreciation for just kind of all of the work that goes into writing articles. I know what goes into the editing process and how many people went into making that possible. Typically, how the editing process goes is you submit your first draft 1 week. We do it in week segments. So you submit your first draft, it goes through Dr. Lang, who revises it, and then it goes to your editor, and then it eventually makes it into production. So it goes through a lot of different hands before it makes it onto our publication. My biggest inspiration was always my dad. My dad actually wrote for the Alvernian when he was a student here back in medieval times. John Warner, he's a very cool guy, and I am also a political science major now at Alvernia, and following in his footsteps, and that really inspires me, and that's the reason I joined the paper. So we also use social media, so follow us at the Alvernian on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. Join the Alvernian. We would love to have you, and we will feed you free Chick-fil-A.
Hey Alvernia, looking for something fun to do this break? Well, whether you're staying in your dorm or you're from the area yourself, there's plenty to do around Berks County. From food festivals to live music and dancing, we got you covered. Grab your friends and check out what's happening in your backyard.
This Friday, country line dancing for 18 plus from 8 p.m. to midnight. On Saturday, there's live music from 7 to 10 p.m. at Johnny and Han. There is also all ages line dancing on Sunday from 6 to 9 p.m. at the same location.
Next Tuesday, March 4th, Italian Carnival at the Log Cabin in Litz, Pennsylvania. On Wednesday, March 5th, there is a Leesport Food Festival.
All throughout this week, there is walk-in bingo at Bellevue Plaza, hiking at Blue Marsh, Nolde Forest, and Neversink Mountain Loop, and a trampoline park and arcade inside the works.
And that's all for this week. Check the Cork app for upcoming campus events. Make sure to follow us on social media at the Alvernia Campus Show. And everyone, have a nice break. Stay safe.